This is the night it happened, when she never came home.
I'm getting the money. I promise.
I'm staying at the Excelsior, room 605.
Come on! My mom's show is gonna start.
So I hate to admit it, but Contrast is one of those games that I didn't know an awful lot about before stopping by here at the Sony booth at E3. For those who are unfamiliar, could you just tell us a little bit, a brief outlay of what the game is all about?
Yeah, sure. It's a 2D and 3D puzzle platformer. You spend half of the game in a three-dimensional space, as you normally would with a third-person over-the-shoulder camera. And you also spend another part of the game as a two-dimensional shadow. So Dawn, who is the main player character in the game, she has a unique ability that she can go up to a wall where they have a lit surface, and you can shift into and become a shadow on that wall. And then you can use the shadows that are on the wall to be able to traverse areas and to be able to solve puzzles.
Right, so I thought it had a fascinating story twist. It's not your typical adventure story where you're saving the world, right? It's a little bit closer to home.
Yeah, I mean, myself and my partner Guillaume from the company, we both have families, we both have 2 kids, and we're a little older than a lot of the game developers out there now. We've been around the block a few times, so we weren't really interested in making games about killing and saving the world and that type of thing. We really wanted to bring something closer to home that was more about the family unit and some of the struggles and strife that you might have within the family and how that might affect the kids and then how you might resolve those types of issues. So it's a bit of a passion project for us. It's very close to home that we can then take a lot of our ideals that we place into our families and see how we can progress those in the story of the game.
Is there any real life inspiration, or have you just blended all aspects of your family experiences into creating the experience? Or
well, we don't necessarily have direct relationships with some of the the internal strife that the family in the game has. There's some very key twists that we have there, which we're not necessarily pulling from our lives. But my partner, he's divorced from his wife, so they share custody of the kids. So there's some element of that within the game where there might be multiple family units. And then it's just really looking at and touching upon different things that could happen, with different families. So it's something that we really wanted to push, and we're pulling some of that, about the love for kids in their game, and but how you might want to help your kids, and how they progress and how they learn and things like that. It's a more of an adult-oriented story. It's not a kid's story. It's really seen from a film noir, perspective. So there is a bit of darkness, there is a bit of violence in the game, but it's ultimately about just bringing the family unit back together.
I really love the art style that you're going for. Can you tell us something about that and sort of what you're trying out with that?
Yeah, we're really trying to bring a couple of different things together. So we're bringing back the vaudeville scene, from early 1900s, merging that with a bit of film noir to create that darkness that we have in the game. And we've pulled a lot of inspiration from movies like Dark City. And obviously from Tim Burton, having some of those scraggly and thin kind of aspects to the scene, and things are a little bit distorted. That was important to us as well. So bringing a lot of different things together to really make an overall genuine feel of love and warmth, but also coolness and kind of not quite understanding exactly what's happening with the world. So there's a little bit of being put off with some of the things that you see in the world.
And also the art style really lends itself to that sort of the shadows and that the gameplay, the mechanics. It's sort of a perfect marriage there.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that visual art style and just talking about shape language. What types of shapes that we should see in the scene, what the colors were. When you're in three-dimensional space, the colors are a certain tone. Then when you shift into shadows, they become more neutral and give you more understanding of where you need to go and understanding of player direction and things like that. So from a visual perspective, it was very important for us to convey that sense of feeling and the visions for the game, using that style.
So the game is obviously coming out on PS4, but that's not the only platform, right?
No, we're going to come out on Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and PC on Steam. And we'll be coming out with the launch of the PS4. So when that date comes up, that's when you'll find our game.
And what's it like? I mean, you're getting quite a huge space here, a lot of attention in the Sony booth. I'm sure you've seen a lot of gamers coming up and trying the game. What's the reaction been like here on the floor?
The game has been super positive. Right from the first day, we see people that sit down and they play pretty much all the way through the demo from start to finish. So it's about a 7 to 8 minute experience, just playing the demo. And for us, when we see people play through and complete it, it's really a nice feeling, because we know that there are hundreds of other games here that they could be going and playing. And there's some stuff that's really, really amazing here. So for them to be able to take that amount of time out of the day and be able to sit down and play through the whole demo, we know that we've captivated them. We know we're doing the right things, and we're getting a really, really strong response from everybody that's seen the game.
And it feels like this corner of it, Sony are giving a lot of love to the indies here.
Yeah, definitely. Sony's been a great partner for us. We originally pitched the game to them about a year ago and kept in talks with them over the last year. And then about 2 months ago, they came to us and said, would you guys like to be on PS4 at launch with us? And would you like to come to E3 and be in the booth? And of course we said yes. We saw at the Sony press conference that they're being very aggressive with indies. They've got a number of first party title indie games coming out. And then this whole section here is all the indies that are coming out on the launch of the PS4. So it's been really, really great. They're very aggressive with us and been super, super nice, and just very professional about getting us onto the platform.
So you mentioned 2 months ago. Sounds like it's pretty short time to get a game up and running on a new platform. Is that indicative of how easy it is to get your game running on PS4?
Yeah, it was pretty easy for our team. I mean, we have some pretty senior and experienced guys. Our 2 lead programmers in the game have been working in the industry for about 20 years each. So there is some work to be done, but within about a week, we had the game running on the platform. We had a couple of things that we had needed to work out, some physics and some rendering things. But within a month, we were fully running, highly optimized, and as you see here in the demo. So it was a pretty easy and seamless transition from us from being on the PC to getting it on the PS4.
You're obviously coming out a launch on PS4. What's the time schedule for other platforms?
Yeah, we're going to be simultaneous ship for all the platforms at the same time. So for PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and PC, it'll all be on the same day.
Thank you very much for your time.
No, you're welcome. Thank you very much.